Hello everyone! Now that we have completed stage 1 of the boys' quarters, I think it's time to look at how much the construction of these 2-bedroom boys' quarters has cost us so far. I shared the building plan for this 2-bedroom house in the first video in the series. Here it is again. I keep getting questions whose answers are right there in this building plan. If you need a detailed video of me explaining this building plan, feel free to let me know in the comments below. I can use this basic building plan to demonstrate how to read a building plan, so you can read your own building plan and understand what is going on in there. That way you can say, remove this from the plan, add this for me, add that for me. If you know how to read a building plan, you will know how to ask your architect important questions so you can get the house of your dreams. Now to the video of the day. We started these boys' quarters by molding blocks. If you have trust issues with the blocks sold at Block Industries, then molding your own blocks is the way to go. That way you can control the mixture. That is the ratio of the cement to sand to water that is used in molding the block. The blocks were molded even before I traveled to Nigeria. Molding of blocks take time, especially in the rainy season. It's not even advisable to mold blocks in the rainy season anyway. It's advisable to start on time to mold your blocks. So you need to do it before you arrive at the work site. This is what it cost us to mold 1,050 6 inches solid blocks as estimated by our builder. We will get back to this table later. So for stage 1, what I call stage 1 across all my videos is foundation plus DPC, that's German floor. This is the first stage at which you can stop work for a while and nothing will happen to your house. Whenever you're ready, you can come back and continue from where you stopped. Yeah, but don't leave it for too long. 5 years is still okay. So for stage 1, we spent, starting with the building materials, we bought rods. You can see the corresponding amounts. Please bear in mind that the cost of building materials changed so much in Nigeria within a twinkle of an eye. In the middle of July, when we received the estimates, we had a plan based on the prices of building materials at that time. By the time we were ready to start work in late July, the prices of some of the building materials have increased. Case in point, the rods. Look at the differences in price from mid-July to end of July. So please bear in mind that the prices you will see here, in fact, in all my videos where I give you prices, are based on the prices of the materials at the time of making that video. For this one, this is based on the prices at the end of July, early August 2021, thereabouts. And these prices are for our hometown in Anambra State. If you're buying in Lagos, even Imo State, very close to where I am, the prices differ by a lot. For the cement, we started off by buying 30 bags, but we ended up using 35 bags for this stage. You will see a breakdown of the number of bags of cement we used later. The number of blocks used for this stage can also be easily calculated. More on that later. You can see that I have a weird price for the blocks. That's because we molded it ourselves, like I said earlier. And if we go back to the cost of molding blocks table, you will see that it cost us 232,200 naira to mold 1,050 6 inches solid blocks. Therefore, one block cost us this total amount divided by 1,050. That's how I arrived at 221 naira as cost of each block. In the block industry, 6 inches solid blocks are currently sold at 200 naira each, while 9 inches hollow blocks cost 230 naira each. We bought planks and other wood. The sand and stone you see here is for the whole building, not just this stage. It was quite difficult for me to keep a tab on the quantity of sand that were used for this stage because, you know, I was handling a lot of other things at that time, also following up on the finishing work going on at the main building. The binding wire is another building material that will be carried over to the next stage. You buy as and when needed. So the building materials came to a total of just over 500,000 naira. And at today's exchange rate, the exchange rate has been crazy recently, that's about $1,000. Next, the handling of the building materials. When you buy these at the market, you need to pay job men to load them onto the truck. They will also follow the truck to your work site and offload them there. Unless you have enough people on your work site to help you offload them. Yeah. So for each bag of cement, you pay 40 naira for loading and offloading. For each piece of rod, it doesn't matter the size of rod, the same, you pay 40 naira for loading and offloading. For wood, you pay 20 naira for loading and offloading. For transportation, each bag of cement is transported at 100 naira per bag. Remember, all these are for my village in Anambra State. I think if your work site is so far away from the market, they will charge you more, but our work site is relatively close to the market. For the rods and wood, it depends on the size of truck that can carry the quantity of wood or rods you bought. And all these costs are unionized, if there's any word like that. So no haggling. Yeah, they just tell you, okay, this is the truck that can carry this, so you pay so amount. Yeah. With that, we come to a total of over 600,000 naira spent on the materials for this stage. Then labor. Labor is too cheap, in fact, annoyingly cheap in my village, but there's nothing you can do about it. That's the standard. The workers are paid 800 naira for digging one partition of the foundation trenches. According to them, one partition is a length of 12 feet, that's about 3.6 meters, and a depth of 2 feet 6 inches for bungalows. They charge more when digging the foundation for story buildings. Yeah, because story buildings, if you followed my main house building, you saw how deep the foundation is. For digging the columns, that's where they will place the baskets for the base of the pillars, they charge 300 naira. Yeah, this one is cheaper, much cheaper, because they've already dug the trenches. They only need to dig a little bit deeper at the point where the pillars will be. Then we have one mason to supervise on that day. The mason is different from the site engineer. I will talk more on this later. The mason marks where they will dig and makes sure that they dig to the right depth and all that. Those who have been following the series saw that we removed 3 stumps from the area we built on. I put that in red because this is not applicable to everyone's site. Then for casting the foundation, they charge on a per bag of cement basis, 700 naira per bag of cement mixed. So this charge covers mixing one bag of cement and other materials in the aggregate, scooping the mix into a bucket and going to pour it wherever the mason wants it. They used 13 bags of cement for the blinding, which is the base of the foundation. Remember when I said that it is easy to calculate the number of bags of cement used? This is because each person is paid for the number of bags of cement they mixed and poured on that day. So at the end of the day, it's quite easy to say this person mixed this way, so you add everything together. The iron bender charged 800 naira to build each set of rods for the pillars and 600 naira to build each set of rods for the baskets, which is placed at the base of the pillars. Then we have a dedicated person on site to make sure that they stick to the correct aggregate. The person makes sure that the laborers add the correct number of buckets of sand and buckets of stone to one bag of cement as stipulated by the site engineer. If you do not supervise them on this, they will not mix the correct aggregate for you, thereby compromising the structure of your building. They will also waste cement for you. I can make a whole video talking about the tricks that the laborers carry out to earn more money, to work faster and all that. If you need more information, please ask me in the comments and I will give you examples of the tricks. So you need someone that is vigilant and pays attention to detail to keep a tab on each and every one of the laborers. It's not an easy job, it's a huge responsibility. The person literally needs to have a spreadsheet that monitors what everybody is doing. If you don't trust anyone to do it right, you can do it yourself if you are sure you can stay in one place for the duration of the casting. It's not easy, you'll be stuck there. Then you need a mason to supervise and direct them where to pour. He also tells them, even warns them. Yeah, some masons are so strict that once you pour it, they will tell you, oh yeah, take it back. If you're about to pour it, they say, take it back and go and remix it. Yeah, so he tells them when they do not mix the concrete well. Yes, lazy mixing is a thing. They just do it chakam chakam and bring it, and you can still make out the cement and the sand in the mix. Yeah. Now, the base of the foundation has been cast. Time to lay the blocks inside the foundation. We used 2 bricklayers on that day, and both of them laid a total of 428 blocks in the foundation. In our village, they charge 40 naira per block laid. This is known as the counting method. And each mason needs a laborer to mix and serve him the cement mix. They are called servers. Servers are officially paid 2,500 naira per day. Yes, quite poor, but what can you do? You can't change these things. One thing you can do is to give them tips at the end of the job. Also, the masons they worked with give them tips at the end of each day, because the masons make a decent amount of money on that day because they work so fast. By the end of the day, you can imagine, multiply 428 blocks by 40, and this is roughly divided between the 2 masons depending on how many blocks each of them laid. So yeah, I put the number of blocks in red because let's say they laid 350 blocks on the first day, remaining 78 blocks to complete the foundation. The second day, they will not use the counting method for you because they will lose out. If the person uses the counting method, he will earn 78 multiplied by 40, which is 3,120 naira. But their day rate is 4,000 naira. They will always go with the greater payout. So depending on the amount of blocks remaining, they will decide how you will pay them. Now, I think it's time to talk about how to calculate the number of bags of cement you need to chalk the blocks. According to the masons, for 6 inches solid blocks, which is the one we used when building these boys' quarters, a mixture of 1 bag of cement with the sand, and every other thing, can chalk 65 to 70 blocks. While for 9 inches hollow blocks, the one we used when building the main house, 1 bag of cement can chalk 50 to 55 blocks. This difference is because when laying the 9 inches hollow blocks, some cement mix can fall into the holes in the blocks, thereby wasting it. They can't really control that. For ours, we laid 428 6 inches solid blocks. So divide that by 65, we have that we used 6.5 bags of cement for the chalking. Round that up to 7 bags, add to the 13 bags we used to cast the foundation, and about 2 bags we used to cast that area where the tree stump was uprooted from here, and casting the short pillars areas. These add up everything, and so far we have used 22 bags of cement. If you are following and enjoying the series, please do well to click the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so you will not miss any of these uploads. I will hopefully increase the frequency of uploads in the coming weeks. Next, we fill the foundation with laterite. For that, they charged a one-off fee of 13,000 naira. We used half tanker of water, the truck, the truck that brings water, half of that for watering the laterite. When the laterite sunk, because it sinks when it is saturated with water, we hired a laborer to fill up the sunk areas with laterite, basically leveling up the foundation again. Then the mason charged this amount to compact it manually. You've seen all these in action in the series. If you have been following the series, make sure you don't miss any video in the series to avoid asking questions that I have already answered in a video. To round up this stage, we have the DPC, that's the German floor. They charge 700 naira to cast 1 bag of cement, and we used 13 bags for the German floor. In one of the videos I asked the mason, he said they used 12 bags. But at the end of that day, when we were going through what was used for the day, it was 13 bags. So add that to the earlier 22 bags, we have 35 bags of cement used for this stage, the foundation and the DPC. In the video, you saw the masons supervising on that day. They charged 4,000 naira as day rate, and the carpenter that did the edges of the foundation, these planks, also charged 4,000 naira day rate to do the job. This brings us to a total of 113,000 naira for labor. Everything spent for this stage comes to a total of 715,000 naira. That's about $1,300 based on today's exchange rate, which is 560 naira to $1. The exchange rate has been crazy these days. Late July, when we completed this stage, the exchange rate was 500 naira to $1. There are other costs that are general to the whole building, which I did not include here. For instance, we had a builder that supervised the structural work. This is a basic bungalow that can be built by an experienced mason, but because it has front pillars with extended beams, we engaged the services of a more experienced builder so the front will not collapse in the future. I will include such costs when doing the overall cost of the building. If you have been following the series, you will know about the type of soil we are building on, so that makes the cost of the foundation cheaper in our area. If you want to build this kind of house in a coastal area, different soil, different type of foundation, you will definitely spend more because the foundation costs more in coastal areas. Click the video on the left to watch the next video in the series. Bye bye. See you soon.